Hello. Hi, everyone. Right, my kids have promised me they're going to be quiet. What do you reckon, guys? Is that possible? Okay, so I've had a busy day. I've done a lot of lives. I still need to get the hair dye in my hair. I haven't done it yet. So the name's Louis. I'm a lifelong Elvis fan. I'm in Southwest UK. I'm 57 years old. And Tino, you did promise me you're going to be quiet. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think you will be? Nah. Right, can I have the phone then, please? No. Well, no, you said you were going to be quiet, so give me. No. I'm coming to get it. Ha ha. Ho ho ho. So, I'm not sure how many of you are going to join. I'm just going to do a brief one. So, let's dig up that interview again with Priscilla Presley, because we only did a small part of it. Oh, what's this?
So it all started back when he was just maybe 5-6 years old.
Did you like the movie?
It really doesn't matter what I think. I grew up with a man, so I'll just say this: it was entertaining, and I'll just leave it at that.
Was there anything that was absolutely false that I should take out of my mind?
Yes.
Which one?
He would never talk to his mother like that first when they had that little argument.
Right.
And his daddy was a lot stronger than that. He wasn't the little weak guy that they made him out to be. He was a very strong individual.
Good to know, Billy Stanley.
This is my hi Nadia.
I want to dive into an interesting question, at least from.
Hi Nadia. Hi Deborah. Hi Stacy. You must chill a bit on your channel. This to me is chilling. This is chilling. Now the live streams, the phone live streams, it's not as chilling. It can be actually. It depends what mood I'm in. If I'm in a real sort of, do you know what? I'm just going to walk the dogs. While I'm walking, I'm going to chat. I can chill. But today the phone lines have been... Chill. Yeah, okay, Tino. But today the phone lines have been like... I did shorter ones today. Hope you're all well. Hi, Sherry. Deborah, Stacy, Nadia, Stacy, Deborah. Right. So, I'm just going to faff around a little bit. So, I don't even know what this is going to say. Let's have a look. It's obviously the favorite singer stepbrother reveals details about... Well, let's just see what he says. I don't even know what he's going to say.
My purview, you're Elvis's stepbrother. You know him in a way very different from the way the public does. And there are a lot of preconceived notions, thoughts, ideas about celebrities and who they are. What could you tell us about your stepbrother that maybe might surprise us? What can you tell us about him as a person?
Well, he was a Christian. Most people don't know that. And I mean, when I say Christian, he was a Bible-carrying Christian. That means wherever he went, he took the Bible with him. I mean, even though when I was traveling with him on tour, that was my job. One of my jobs was to carry the Bible. And even though hotels had the Bible in there, he always carried his everywhere he went. That's how much of a Christian he was. Most people don't know that. And I mean, I've seen him get down on his knees and pray.
Obviously, there's a lot of interviews on here with the Stanley brothers. Let's see if we can find an old one. I'm just messing around here, guys. Stanley brothers. Now, yes, Nadia, I've read that story. No, I've even seen the interview. Not read it. I've read this. I did a video on it. So let's have a look. See what comes up. Now, I think you guys got some quite passionate views about the Stanley brothers, haven't you? Good and bad. Let's see what this one says.
Now, an unspeakable claim about what really killed the king of rock and roll.
I clearly state that Elvis Presley committed suicide.
Elvis's kid brother speaks out for the first time about the private misery of the king.
Now, a typical night with Elvis was 33 sleeping pills and 9 shots of Demerol.
Elvis's brother, shocking claims about what happened the night Elvis died. Elvis, what really happened?
That's on our next edition of A Current Affair. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, America.
So I actually think, let me just pause up. I actually think even that is wrong, because he said, this is where I think Elvis tried to hide all the different illnesses that he had from even his own family, even his so-called stepbrothers or stepsons or whatever they were called. Because for him to say 33 sleeping tablets and then 9 Demerol tells me that he didn't actually know what the tablets were. He had no idea. I know now in the modern world, they put them in special boxes. They're all different colors. But in those days, it wasn't like that, was it? So I actually don't think David Stanley actually knew what proper health issues Elvis had. If he was alive today, I'd give him the book, Destined to Die Young, so he can read it. Okay, let's have a look. So I've enjoyed the live streams, guys. They've been very interesting. I have been going back through some of the messaging, and it is funny. It does crack people up. And I can see that Linda... Let me just quickly go at I'll just go to the comments, and I think, let's just have a look. It was quite funny. So that's, where are we? Obviously got to find the comments now, but I know that you guys were all sort of making each other laugh through those comments, weren't you? Hi, Shirley Ellis. That is a new name. Have I spoke to you before? Where are you from? Welcome to our family. Yes, Shirley, I've heard a lot of untruths said by David Stanley and his brother. Should we try and dig a few out? Where are you from, Shirley? I don't actually know much about him, so I'm just showing little tiny clips. Jacksonville. Hi, I'm in a small town in the UK near Bristol called Weston-super-Mare. It's a seaside town. We have a lot of holiday makers here. It's in the southwest part of the UK. My name's Louis. Nice to meet you. We have Team Elvis here that are part of our lovely family channel that we share together that's called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans Want the Truth. And we're here to defend Elvis. That's basically why we're here. We're sticking up for Elvis. We think a lot of things have been said about Elvis that are unfair, that are untrue. We think some very twisted stories have been told about Elvis, especially from people like, in our opinion, Priscilla Presley and some of the Memphis Mafia, and yes, the Stanley brothers. And we want to disagree with people and tell them they're wrong. That's where we are. Thanks, Shirley. And we have a great bunch of members and subscribers here, and we call them Team Elvis because when we do our phone live streams, which have tens of thousands of views, we get hundreds of people commenting. And I'll be honest with you, we need the members and the subscribers, Team Elvis, to jump in there and defend Elvis's memory. And I need them to back me up because we're getting so many comments. I couldn't reply to them even if I wanted to. But no, you're not going to start that. And I'm going to beat my son in a minute. He's singing Let It Go. Anyway, as I was saying, no, I can't hear myself talk. Not going to listen to me. It doesn't matter what I say. He's the boss. I'm just the child on the PC, and he's like the boss of the house, and he's 4 years old. Anyway, as I was saying. You're 4 years old. Yeah, I am 4 years old. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find another Dave Stanley horrible clip. Let's have a look so we can ridicule him. What's this say? What's that?
Blues, so earlier, 30 something like that. Stage clothes were ready. You know, towards altering, his personality. And you wake up in 76, late 75 and 76, and he's really taking a lot of medication towards altering, his personality. Canceling shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Unable to perform because he was
right. That's right. Listen, you're not being right. Okay. Come over here. Just plug it here. But look, you did. Look, say hello to the people on the live stream. Look over there. Look, they're right in front of you. Look, they're all looking at you. And I can't speak to them and tell them what I want to do unless you are quiet. No. This is Tino. He's 4. 4 going on 10. Right. Well, you're going to have to just turn it off for a bit and then turn it back on and see what happens. All right, go on then. Here's the remote here. Take it with you. You know how to use it. Oh, the joys of live streams whilst your children are here. And here's me thinking they were going to be quiet. Right, let's have a look. Doesn't David have some kind of Las Vegas gig and has his own suite as if he's some big superstar? This is Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. You were hilarious on the lives. Linda was hilarious. In fact, all of you were hilarious on the live streams. You are very cheeky, all of you. Elvis always will be king. Dave Stanley is an absolute joke. Richard, hi, Richard. I know hardly anything about Dave Stanley. I'm sure you guys know a lot more about him than I do. If you've got any stories you'd like to share about Dave Stanley, bang them into the comments because I am learning from you guys. Richard, welcome. Welcome to our small channel. You know we're here to defend Elvis and try and disagree with all the people lying about him. You're very welcome. We have a great channel here. We all know each other. Team Elvis is on this. We have a lovely group and we call each other Team Elvis. And we are Elvis defenders. We are Elvis defenders. That's what we are. Right, turn it right down a minute. Right down, please. So we've got, let's have a look. Yes, Cheryl is cheeky. Right, just a little bit more, please, Tina. Tina, just turn it down a bit more. Right, so, Richard, where are you from? I'm always interested to know where people are from. I love to know. We're in the Southwest UK. Now, many of the members here and the subscribers are all over the world. I know a lot of them are in America, but we have different countries as well. Just please let us know. We're very interested. All right, so he's a preacher. Thanks, Deborah. From Leeds. All right, I'm in Weston-super-Mare, my friend. So you may know it. You may have been here before. All right, let's just press play and see what happens.
It just got to where it went from use to abuse, but it was all prescribed. And when somebody would confront him about it, he would just tell you to mind your own business. It was none of your business. And about 76 and 77, it was out of control. By 77, Elvis was taking massive amount of medications that controlled his life and ultimately took his life. I walked in the bathroom. I wasn't the first. I walked in. Joe Esposito went in there. Charlie Hodge Vernon, his stepfather, because Joe walked in. Ginger called downstairs his girlfriend. Joe ran up, saw him, knew it was serious. Called Vernon, his dad, my stepfather, who was in the back at the office at Graceland, and said, "You better get up here."
And he had 2 heart attacks or something?
Vernon had already been sick before. And then I came in because I was downstairs and I heard the commotion. I eventually came in and we rolled Elvis over and it was obvious that he was dead. I mean, he'd been dead for several hours. Body was cold. Rigor mortis had set in. Tongue was black, half sticking out of his mouth, black, half bitten off. He was gone. And there was no mistaking about it. It was very surreal. It was more like a dream than reality. It didn't surprise me because I knew that these medications were going to get him. I knew that one day that one of us wasn't going to be there to save him because I had saved him a couple of times before.
Because he would
eat and fall asleep. Yeah. And so this was a moment to where he made sure nobody could save him. You know, he was lonely. He was unhappy. Now, why was he lonely? I don't know. Why was he unhappy? I don't know. I don't think anybody can know the mind of an individual that well. All I know is he was unhappy. He was lonely. He felt like he was being betrayed by a book that was coming out by Red and Sonny West and Dave Hebler. They didn't mean for the book to have the effect that it did, but the timing was bad. And here Elvis was 255 pounds, canceled shows. Media was beating up on him. Now here comes a book saying he was on drugs and all these terrible
turn it down a
things.
bit more, please.
I think it was just too much for him to stand up in front of the public and go,
Gina.
here I am. Elvis was very prideful. A lot of pride. He would not admit a fault to the public. And, of course, that's what I think cost him his life. Oh, I guess, all of them. But I would say the holidays and Christmases at Graceland, the snow on the ground,
right, let's
playing and
pause that. So, well, at least he calls it medication. I mean, that, a lot of that, come on, guys, quite upsetting, isn't it? Because he's quite graphic. He talks about things in detail. Gina, a bit more, please. And so we don't really want to hear it, but at the end of the day, I think we have to hear it. But there's a few bits in there, like when he was younger, he basically said Elvis popped 30 painkillers and 9 Demerol. Well, he's obviously moved his story now, and now he's saying his medication. Because the truth is, if you really understand Elvis, in my opinion, when he started becoming very unwell, and I think probably in his late 30s, early 40s, of course, he was extremely unwell. And if you understand the Sally Holdall book, Destined to Die Young, and there's many videos now on YouTube, many, that are explaining the different health problems Elvis had, like with his liver, his heart, his lungs, his twisted colon, his extreme constipation, his extreme insomnia. He needed medication to relax. He needed to be sedated between shows. He needed uppers to give him energy so he could go and do these shows because he was doing too many shows in Vegas. You start to understand that they actually were just trying to keep him going, don't you? They were just trying to keep him going. So the thing about Dave Stanley, the impression I'm getting from that little speech that he gave, is that he sees that Elvis did the damage to himself, and then eventually it was going to catch up with him, and that's why he died. He also says he doesn't understand why Elvis was unhappy. Well, I don't completely agree that Elvis was extremely unhappy, because if you listen to Ginger Alden, she says he was very upbeat and looking forward to the future, looking forward to the tour that he was about to go on the next day. So I still see that Stanley is telling his story all from his point of view. This is how I saw Elvis. I think he was taking too many pills. I think he was depressed. I think it was inevitable that he was going to be found dead. I don't think he's given the whole picture. I think you need to see the whole picture to truly judge the last 2 or 3 years of Elvis's life. So, we could talk about it forever, but, he's trying to be honest. I could see that. It looks to me like his interviews are a bit tamer now. Yeah. I think in the younger years, I would say that Dave Stanley was a bit more blunt in the interviews I've seen. Right, my speakers are making a funny noise. Right. So, anyway, let's read some of your comments, guys. I will say this, guys. I don't know hardly anything about the Stanley brothers. Obviously, I know why they're related to Elvis, and I know that they spent a lot of time with Elvis, right to the end. I know that. There's even a video of them on the go-kart, isn't there? Riding around Graceland. So let's have a look. So Shirley, hi Shirley. So Shirley says, I agree, Cheryl, £255. Well, if I show you the picture of Elvis, let's go through one comment at a time. Now let's get Elvis in March 1977 in Hawaii. We know he had a bloated stomach. His intestines were inflamed. I'll show you the picture. We've done this before, but I'm going to do it again. I don't like that he's painted as this fat person, when really it was his stomach that was distended and inflamed. Now I'll show you 2 pictures. First, this one. Now remember, this is March 1977. His arms are thin, his legs are thin. Even his body looks fine. It's just his stomach is protruding. I wouldn't even say it's that bad. I do think when he was wearing his jumpsuits and it's really hot and the jumpsuits were too small for him, that he looked bigger than he was, and with the sweatiness. Now, this is a great picture, guys. Look how skinny his legs are and his arms are. Remember, March 1977 in Hawaii. Now, there's no way that that man is 255 pounds. So, again, Stanley is... I just think this is the problem with many people when they talk about Elvis. They have their view of it. So, their twisted, warped version of it. Of course, Elvis suffered from depression. And yes, there was a problem with medication. And he had his ups and downs, and life was extremely difficult. He was in a lot of pain. He was in a lot of discomfort because of the medication, because of the constipation. He had extreme constipation, extreme insomnia. Right, 1 second. Right, okay. Right, calm down, Rick. Okay, back again. My son's back. This is our great live streams in my kitchen at my house. Right, so there's that. So let's keep going. Did they ever investigate to find out how sick he was? Back then, I don't think so. Back then, the autopsy was kept a secret, as far as I know. It's going to be released in a couple of years. And I think they all guessed. I don't think anyone had heard of the alpha-1 gene that he may have inherited from his grandparents on Gladys's side, that also probably caused the death of Gladys Presley. And no one really knew what was actually wrong with Elvis from what I can see. Obviously, as the years have gone on, and a lot of more investigative stuff has gone on, and the Sally Holdall book, that we're starting to understand that every part of his body was failing. His liver, his lungs. He had the twisted colon, megacolon, some people call it, don't they? And he had high blood pressure. He had high blood sugar. Probably had type 2 diabetes. So it was just all going wrong for him in his late 30s. And Elvis just didn't know where to go, where to look, what to do. He was desperate. He was a desperate man. So, of course, he turned to the doctors to medicate him and to give him painkillers and to soothe his pains and to soothe his comforts and to unblock his constipation. And, I'm no doctor, guys, but he was going through hell. It's obvious. But I still think he was positive and he was getting ready for his future coming tour that was going to start the next day. And I still think he was optimistic about the future. But yes, every day was a battle for him. It's obvious. So let's have a look. This is just my opinions, guys. I wasn't there. He wasn't my friend. It's just a fan giving his views. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Deborah says Elvis was not that heavy. Naja, I really feel like there is a bombshell in there. So we've got, is that from another movie? I'm not sure what that is. There is something in the autopsy. That's why it's being... Yeah, well, I think they said at the time, the bit I read, that after he died, they wanted it closed for 50 years, and they were allowed to do that. I'm guessing they thought, well, 50 years from now, everyone would have forgotten about Elvis. So they haven't. I would say Elvis is more famous now. And so we're all going to see it. But it wouldn't surprise me if we don't learn that anything new. Maybe they just were trying to hide the type of medication he was taking, and they thought it would damage his image, his legacy, his reputation. So I think Vernon was just being careful. But who knows, isn't it? We're all going to find out soon. There is something in that autopsy. That is why it's being held back. To Cheryl, yes, Deborah, I think Vernon was told something and it shocked him, and that's why he sealed it. Well, we've got this story that he went to an acupuncturist. Dr. Nick, I've seen this interview with Dr. Nick, and he basically says, see if I can find it, that Elvis was using acupuncture and they were injecting They were injecting, what was the drug? I can't remember. They were injecting a very toxic drug, and they weren't using the acupuncture needles. They were using syringes, and Elvis thought it was great because it made him float like a butterfly. But they say, Dr. Nick said he was close to death. Have any of you seen that interview with Dr. Nick? Let's have a look. Do you know, he always was, Deborah, he was always trying to please the fans, wasn't he? He definitely tried his best, always. In all, I think he just, to me, he was just trying to get through it. KMD, this is another new name. He didn't deserve to go through what he did. His soul was so kind and pure for what he went through. Oh, what a lovely comment. KMD, welcome to our family. Team Elvis are here. Hi, Joy. Joy's on board. We've got Olivia. Some new names tonight. Hi, Joy. Hope you're well, Joy. KMD, let us know your name. Is that... Oh, actually, is that Philona? Is that Philona? Let me know if it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find that Dr. Nick interview. Just see if I can find the one. Let's just find it a second. Well, I've actually done a few Dr. Nick interviews. All right, I've got four shorts that I did about a year ago. I'm going to play them, see what they say. Let's have a look. So who we got here? It's Chloe. Yeah, Chloe, we know you. You've been on, haven't you, Chloe? Yes. Welcome back, Chloe. So you didn't realise your name had changed to tag one. Don't worry, Chloe. And let's have a look. Let's get everyone. Have you seen the interview with Dee Stanley and what she said? Absolutely disgusting. No, I haven't. But many people have told me they're very upset with Dee Stanley. Didn't she say something like Elvis used to go to bed with his mum? Is that it, Richard? It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. So, of course, Chloe, got it. Right. Yes, your mum is... Let's have a look. Sue, you are Sue's daughter. Right. Sorry, I'm playing catch up. There's so many names. Hi, Chloe. Welcome to our little family. Where's mum? Is mum there? Sue, are you there? I did message Chloe. I did message your mum and say we're going live. Yeah. Oh, it's just, come on. I've heard, I know a lot of people were very unhappy with Dee. Don't forget, Elvis didn't like Dee. Elvis didn't want Vernon to marry Dee. He didn't even let them stay in the same house. Hi, Sue. Yes, she's following you around, Chloe. She's making sure you're being good. Right, I'm just going to play a couple of these shorts that I did. I think I did these about a year ago. I don't even know what's on them, but it's Dr. Nick. So let's just have a look. Let's turn the volume up. Hi guys, I think you're going to find this interview fascinating. Dr. Nick, Elvis Presley's doctor, very close friend as well. Have a listen together and I'll interrupt now and then.
All right, joining us this morning, Dr. George Nicopolis. Many people know him just as Dr. Nick, Elvis's personal physician. Doc, thanks for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.
Well, he's written a book, but I want to ask you some questions before we get to that. Your time with Elvis, the first time you met him, what were the circumstances?
What an interesting question. Let's hear what he says.
I happened to be on call for a group of doctors that I worked for on a weekend, and Elvis had been in town for about a week and bought everybody that worked for him horses and trailers and took them in horseback riding. He had a problem with riding for a week. He had a lot of soreness and actually he had saddle sores. He was trying to get out of going back to California to do a movie that was to start.
I wasn't expecting that. So Dr. Nick met him. I know that was a bit muffled, but he met him because he had saddle sores. We know that Elvis went through a phase of being obsessed with horses and bought everyone horses. And by the looks of it, this was on a movie set. And Elvis's doctor wasn't available, so Dr. Nick stepped in, and that's how they met. And we know that Dr. Nick and Elvis became very close friends, and obviously Elvis employed Dr. Nick, and Dr. Nick followed him around on his movie sets and on tours and on his family trips. Yeah. So, right, kids, keep it quiet, otherwise I'm going to beat all of you. Right, let's have a look at another Dr. Nick one that I did. Yasmin, quiet. Is that going to play? Let's have a look. Oh, that one's not playing. I wonder why. Let's try the next one. Right, here we go.
I would say that was around 67 then, because that's when Elvis really took horse riding seriously.
So you treated him? Right. And then after that, he liked the relationship so much he became his personal physician? Or?
I think so. His doctor happened to be out of town the first time that I saw him. He was living in California. When he moved back to Memphis, became his personal physician.
And the interviewer doesn't mess around. Listen to this killer question that he throws at Dr. Nick.
Okay. When he died, a lot of people blame the prescription drugs. Is that what killed Elvis Presley?
No, drugs had nothing to do with his death.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. That was proven and shown in my book from the toxicology studies that were done.
And a very unexpected reply.
Now look.
Dr. Nick.
Now you see Dr. Nick there, and I have got good views and bad views about Dr. Nick, but he says that drugs have nothing to do with his death. Now, when I first heard that, I found that very shocking. We'll keep him quiet, please. When I first heard that, I found it very shocking that he would say drugs had nothing to do with his death. But when I learned about the Sally Hoddle book, Destined to Die Young, and I found some quite good videos explaining that the health issues that Elvis may have inherited because his grandparents were first cousins, and then I started to understand that that also was the cause of Gladys Presley dying at 46. So Elvis had these very serious chronic conditions with his lungs, his liver, his colon, his constipation, his insomnia, and many other things, high blood pressure, high blood sugars, possible type 2 diabetes, autoimmune problems in his stomach, maybe IBS, IBD, or Crohn's or colitis. Now, when I started learning all that, then I understand why Dr. Nick said there's a possibility that it wasn't the medication he was taking that killed him, that it was actually the fact that he was just really unwell and really ill, and Elvis's body was letting him down, especially in his late 30s and early 40s. And Elvis had lost control of his body and was extremely desperate and was trying anything to get better, was trying anything to fix himself, and nothing was working. So then he's taking over 40 pills a day. So eventually he's like getting the side effects of all of this medication on top of the severe constipation. So he's straining when he goes to the toilet, which ultimately we think brought him to his heart attack and killed him. So when Dr. Nick says it wasn't the medication that killed Elvis, I understand his point. Now, I'm not saying it's completely correct, mind, but I get it. Let's try another one, shall we?
I tried to write a book before, several years after he died, and I hadn't read any of the other books, but they were brought up in preparation for some of my trials, and there was so much trash written, and didn't like what was going on, and the publishers that I talked to wouldn't let me write the book the way I wanted to write the book. They wanted to sensationalize it and make it look like he was an addict, and I just want to set this record straight.
Okay, you do that, and the King and Dr. Nick, what really happened to Elvis and me, you set the record straight in this book?
I think so.
Well, Dr. Nick, thanks for coming out. Good to talk to you.
My pleasure.
Do you know what? I believe Dr. Nick really cared for Elvis and was very close to him. Dr. Nick even says that he looked at Elvis like a brother, and they were always together. It's obvious that Elvis really trusted Dr. Nick, but why does he have to write a book? Now, he'll say that he wrote a book to set the record straight and to just sort of show how amazing Elvis was, because I've seen he said that in an interview. But why do they all have to write books, guys? Why? It just doesn't feel right to me that everyone that loved Elvis wanted to make money from him. And I mean, in the end, it got very complicated for Dr. Nick, didn't he? I don't think he He was suspended at first, as far as I know, for a short while. But then later on, he was found to be over-subscribing other very famous people. And I think in the end, he did lose his license. There's some interviews on here showing Dr. Nick when he was very old, still being interviewed. Let's have a look if it comes up. I know that with some fans, Dr. Nick is very, very unpopular. Very unpopular. Let me just...
If you're a fan of Elvis, you probably know the King's birthday is Monday. In celebration of his birthday, an exhibit full of memories of Elvis. And Sue joined someone who probably knew him as well as anyone with those memories. Sue?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Scott. We're just going through the things right now. I'm here with Dr. George Nikopoulos, better known as Dr. Nick. And Dr. Nick, thank you so much for being here today. You, of course, were Elvis's personal physician for the last 11 years of his life, so you knew him pretty well. Do you have a lot of folks coming up to you and asking you to tell stories about Elvis?
Everybody keeps wanting to know what my favorite story is, and I guess I don't really have one favorite story.
There's just too many to tell.
Too many to tell.
Like this exhibit that you this is just a small portion of the exhibit that you brought here into our studios. Maybe you can help us and tell us some of the personal stories that you have with these. Now, as we take a look at this entire case here, you see, of course, I had read that Elvis was a sheriff. He had a sheriff's badge and a gun and the blue flashing lights. Tell us that story.
Well, Elvis had an interest in guns most of his life, and he collected a lot of different guns. He loved to shoot and would go to the rifle range and shooting range and shoot a lot. So he got interested in law enforcement, and
he was like an honorary sheriff or something, right? He went out and busted people.
Yeah, he got everyone deputized as a sheriff, and we all went by the supply house at the police station and got his blue light and gun and nightstick and badge.
So, yeah, boring. We want some interesting stuff. But I can see, girls, that you're all being very cheeky. Keep going on about the leather suit. What's going on, girls? A man in a black leather suit. Come on, what's going on? So let's just read a few comments. Olivia, welcome to our channel. I support Elvis because I have a photo made for me, and that person was Elvis's aunt. I just turned 4 when Elvis had been found. I didn't know they were the Presleys until a few years ago. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Olivia. Linda, we all need to just calm down and stop talking about men in leather jackets and leather trousers and leather suits. What's going on, man? Look at the time. I think one of you mentioned Elvis in the Return to Sender black suit. I had that on my wall when I was about 6. He stood there like that with his arm crossed, isn't he? So, yeah, calm down, girls. What's going on? There was a doctor in Las Vegas that gave him the feel-good injections. Yes, Joy. Hi, Joy. And it nearly killed him. This is what I heard. Chloe says, I don't think the meds helped, but I think his organs were all failing in the end, and his heart was under so much strain, it gave out in the end. Yes, with the help of him overstraining. This is how it seems to me. But I agree that his organs were failing, Chloe. Definite. 100%. I personally think Elvis, in my opinion, going over the decades and the years as we go through it, I personally think that it all caught up with him very quickly. I think the Elvis in his early 30s felt great. And only was, yes, he probably was doing some sleeping pills and some uppers and that. Just not a big deal. Come on, a lot of people take sleeping pills. It's not a big deal. But I think as he started to feel unwell in his mid-30s, I think it all just, everything started to go wrong quite quickly, which is why he started employing personal nurses like Tish Henley and the other one was called Marion. Obviously, eventually he moves on to get a full-time doctors. So I think Elvis was like, it sort of overtook. It overtook him. Like from nowhere, he felt he'd lost control of his health. And I think Elvis massively relied on medication and Do you know what? My mother was like that. My mum, who is now in a nursing home, she was the same. If there was anything wrong with her, she'd go and get another pill. My mum was taking 20, 30 pills just because that was just the way she was. She just, oh, I feel a headache, I'll take a pill. My tummy's hurting, I'll have another pill. Yeah, and it was always another excuse to buy a pill. My mum would even go and buy bottles and bottles of vitamin tablets and have them everywhere and just take loads. Because my mum really believed that pills fixed you. Is that common with people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s to just get a pill for everything? Right. Fortunately, I think his health just declined very quickly from him, sadly, which is the same as he was so talented and such an amazing song. Always put the fans first for himself. And yeah, I would, Chloe, I fully agree with that comment. Fully, that's spot on. Right, the comments are sort of racing past. Jane, I agree, very overworked. Let's have a look. Yeah, I agree. Everyone was buying pills for everything. I actually think the less medication you have, the better. And if you eat well, eat correctly, do exercise, you don't need medication. That's really how I feel. I'm not on no medication, nothing. I do not take any medication, but I eat very well. And I do exercise, even though I'm 57 years old. So guys, if you can get off it, you know that I recommend the keto diet, KETO. No bread, no sugar, no pasta, no rice, no potato. Stop anything that turns into sugar. And eat lots of meat, eggs, fish, cheese, salad is okay. Fruit, small amounts of fruit, some nuts, some honey. That's all you need, guys. All you need. Bit of salt, bit of butter. And you'll be surprised how you come off the medications. And I know if you have a heavy meat diet, it can reverse type 2 diabetes and it can stop you becoming pre-diabetes. Because I am Dr. Louis. Right.
Daddy, you've never been a doctor.
I know. My daughter's saying, you're not a doctor. You're right, I'm not. Let's have a look.
You just learnt it.
So Olivia says Dr. Nick was truthful to Elvis. Dr. Nick's nurse was for Priscilla. But I mean, Tish Henley, there's quite a lot of interviews with her, and even Marion. I'm sure the other one's called Marion. They truly loved Elvis, you know. They were with him right at the end, weren't they? He was advised to have colon surgery, but refused because he said he wouldn't be able to perform the same for his fans. And I've heard that, Jane, I've heard this. I heard that the reason he never had the surgery was because everyone was scared to do surgery on Elvis Presley because it was Elvis Presley. No one wanted the comebacks if it went wrong. Deborah, I've heard glaucoma. It was horrible. Didn't they injected a needle right into the center of his eye? Ooh. Could you imagine the pain that he had? And this is part of the reason why he would always wear the TCB sunglasses. Of course, I am Iron Man. I am Rambo. I am Mel Gibbs. We got it, man. We got it. That's Nadia. That's because I eat meat, eggs, fish. I don't eat sugar or bread. So stay away from those croissants, Nadia. Nadia, I know you've been having cheeky croissants with the guy delivering them outside your door because you get the smell of the croissants and you're grabbing those croissants. Just admit it to me. It's all right. Nadia is on the carnivore keto diet. This is Yasmin. Nadia's on the keto carnivore diet. And I reckon she's been having sneaky croissants.
Why?
Tell her why she's not allowed croissants.
Because they have sugar in it.
Correct. See, she knows. Croissants.
There's also bread.
Bread. What does bread turn into?
Sugar.
See? 7-year-old girl, and she knows. Stay off the sugar. Stay off the bread. Stay off the pasta. Stay off the potatoes and the rice.
I'm on Roblox.
And what drinks is Nadia allowed?
Water.
Water. What is she not allowed to drink?
Coke.
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 Alcohol. Fizzy drinks. And anything else that she's not allowed to eat, Yasmin?
chocolate and sweets.
Chocolate and sweets. My 7-year-old girl knows what you should not be eating. And the best meat you can eat is ribeye steak, guys. The best. It's got every mineral and nutrient you could ever want. Fatty acids, anything, you name it, it's all there. So Nadia says, I had a homemade gelato yesterday.
What?
She basically had a cake. It had cherries today. A bit of fruit is okay. I had some grapes tonight, Nadia. I didn't have them for 15 years. Cola is bad for you, definitely. And believe it or not, guys, orange juice is bad for you. It's full of sugar. I know it's got vitamin C in it, but it's also full of sugar. Stay off the orange juice. Drinking orange juice is like drinking Coke.
I want to show them.
Nadia, you can have a keto ice cream. You can have a keto ice cream.
Yeah.
We've spoken about this, haven't we, Esme? I think you use, I'm trying to remember, cream. I don't even remember. It's cream and fruit, I think. And one other thing. What am I missing? There's 3 things.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, soon. We mix 3 things together and then you make a keto ice cream that has no sugar in it except for the fructose in the fruit. Not too much. Oh, yeah, a bit of honey. But not too much honey. Nowadays, meat isn't real here. It's engineered. Joy, in what country are you saying? What's not good for you? Honey. Too much honey is fattening. That is a fact. Even though I love honey in my tea and coffee, but it's not really good because it makes you put on weight if you have too much. Plant-based meat here. Now, I'm not against plants. I'm not against vegan and vegetarians, but I think to get real goodness in your body, you need your fatty meat, your eggs, you need some salt, you need some omelets, some prawns, some fish. You need that goodness, some B12. Look up B12. We're not really talking about Elvis now, are we? The meat here is great. All right. I'm a massive supporter of meat. I've got my own diet channel and it got rid of my ulcerative colitis. It restored my... Yes.
I need my phone. I want to go on phone.
Right here.
Give me phone.
Right, it's got charging. But sit over there and be quiet, please. Right.
I've got fully charged.
It's got enough for now. Right, okay.
Goody, get it.
Right. Yes, actually. And we've got... That's okay. B12. You get B12 in all your meats, I think, especially your red meats. Very good for you. But come on, all you have to do is go onto YouTube, type in keto, and you'll get all the information you could ever want. I am quite a meat-based. I'm not carnivore, but I am quite meat-based. So I do have a bit of fruit, a bit of veg, a bit of nuts, a bit of honey. Beef is the best meat you can have, by far. Beef is the best. Beef and lamb. I would say beef is better than lamb. And if you eat enough fatty meat, you're not hungry all the time. You're not hungry all the time. That's why I like eating meat, eggs, and fish. Because it satiates me. That's a good word. Satiates. It keeps you full. And I lost 1.5 stone in 3 weeks when I switched to more meat-based diet. And it reversed my ulcerative colitis. It stopped me being pre-diabetic, and my blood sugars returned to normal when I started eating a meat-based diet, meat and fish and eggs. So it worked for me. That's all I can say, guys. I'm 57. I think my health's pretty good for a 57-year-old, but I do exercise. I do run. Must we go live in Ireland? Yeah, I bet oh, that's, of course, that's where. Is that where... Is Joy... No, Joy's not in Ireland, is she? Yes, I buy my girl that raises cattle. Right. Let's have a look. Jerky. Yeah, I bet jerky's good for you, isn't it? So it's fat. People don't understand that the fat in meat is very good for you and full of goodness. People think, oh, no, fat makes you fat. It doesn't. Fat does not make you fat. That is a myth. Sugar makes you fat. People also think that if you eat cholesterol, it causes strokes and heart attacks. It's not true. If you eat cholesterol, it's fine. Cholesterol is actually good for you. Cholesterol is in every cell of the body. You look it up. Your body even makes its own cholesterol. So this myth that cholesterol is clogging up your arteries and giving you heart attack is bullshit. It's bullshit. Now you Google that and Google will tell you that cholesterol is really bad for you. But you go on YouTube and you see all the success stories of people that eat a carnivore diet, a keto diet, people that have cured all their ailments and come off medications. You realize that there's some truth in it. It definitely worked for me, and I've been only on this diet for 1 year. Yes, Linda, meat. Yes, everything fresh, everything whole foods, everything natural, whether it be meat or fruit or veg, all honey, all nuts, it's all good. Well, I'm sure that Elvis's diet had an effect on his health. Of course it did. If he was, I know he liked meat, but he also liked many things that had way too much sugar in it. Way too much sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, cool, fresh fruit and veg, fresh tomatoes, it's all good, isn't it? All right, so we've got some gardeners out there. All I know is this, guys. If you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or even 90s, and many of us Elvis fans are older, that changing what you put in your mouth can make you more healthy and make you feel younger and restore your energy. That's all I know, because it did it for me. I am an experiment. The experiment worked. That's it. Well, he liked joy. He liked Southern food, didn't he? He liked all the, I would say, like Southern fried cooking, ribs and like, what's the word? You know, the chicken and the rice and the potatoes and all that great home cooking. He obviously, when he was in his 20s, liked burgers. Who didn't? In the 50s and 60s, who didn't love burgers? And what was the name of the burger place that he would go to and you get like 8 little burgers? What was it called? Crystals. Crystals. Have any of you guys heard of Crystals? In the 50s and 60s, that's where Elvis would go on his dates and have those little miniature burgers. Do they still have those places now? Yeah, he loved bacon. Bacon's really good for you. I know that everyone thinks that bacon is bad for you. It's not. Bacon is really good for you. People even think that eggs are bad for you. It's rubbish. Eggs are so good for you. People think butter's bad for them. It's really good for you. Even salt is good for you as long as you don't have too much. I know, because obviously I'm not a doctor. Yes, Crystal. Joy, you remember Crystals. And what's the name of that restaurant that you can sit in? You can actually sit in the seat that he ate in. There's is it a burger place? It could even be Crystals, couldn't it? Well, too much salt isn't good, but salt is good for you guys. Never think salt is bad for you. Yeah. You can't go wrong with bacon. Right, why are you screaming? All right, just pick it up. All right, Tyler, do me a favor, go and pass him his phone, please. All right, don't worry, Yasmin's going to bring it for you. My God. Ugh. Yeah, don't forget, guys, on my 60th birthday on July the 10th, I'm going to Graceland to stay in that beautiful hotel. I'm going to meet all of you there. My 60th birthday, July the 10th. It's a date. Team Elvis are going to meet us. We're all going to meet up.
Daddy?
Yes?
Look, this is when it was my birthday. Look. Wait, let me get it.
We will, Deborah, one day. One day we're all going to come together. I'll bring my kids. I'll bring my lovely wife. It'll be beautiful. It'll be amazing. No, my birthday. July the 10th, Nadia. We're going to be in an air conditioning hotel. Have you seen how beautiful that hotel is in front of Graceland? It's like it will have the best air conditioning ever. Yeah. Stacey's coming. Oh, what? Lucky you, Jane. No, I'm gonna hold off. I hate flying. The longest flight I've ever had is 4 hours, and that was when I went to Cyprus. Obviously, my heritage is from Cyprus, but I haven't been to Cyprus for a long time. What is that? What food is it?
It was a waffle, a ginormous waffle with strawberry and
but waffles are bad for you. It's covered in chocolate. Yeah. She had that on her birthday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Of course, I have to let the kids eat whatever they want because they are in charge.
Then look.
Yeah, Teresa, I think you're right. I think it's expensive, but it's my 60th birthday. I never celebrated my 50th. So
I used to love that though.
I was always working. Even my 40th, I was always working. I was an obsessive workaholic. So now, on my 60th, we're doing it. It's very hot in Memphis in July, August, September. But yeah, it is here right now. It's in the UK right now. It's bloody hot. Today has been baking. Let me just 1 second. Let me just sort him out. Where's Mum? I thought Mum was going back now. Where's Mum gone? Right, you know we're going to bed in a minute. It's getting late. We're all going up. Huh? What? Yeah, I did think. You stay quiet. Tina, stay quiet. Stay quiet. I'll let you stay. Right, 5 more minutes, kids, and we're going up to bed. Anyway, my plan. Right, you have to be quiet. So I think we're going to wind it up in a minute. My plan for tomorrow is definitely we're doing a phone live in the morning. So Team Elvis, get ready for that. We're probably going to do about 3 phone lives tomorrow because when the weather is nice like it is now, I can do a phone live because I just go for a walk. So it's going to be fun. So Shirley Ellis is in Florida. How are you, Shirley? So what we've got, it's here. So Jane says it is here in Spain too. Jane lives in Spain. I think you've told me this before, haven't you? You're from England, but you live in Spain. Is that correct, Jane? You don't know what hot is in UK, Louis. Well, do you know what? We do get some hot weather, Naja. Today has been very hot. So hot that there's flies everywhere. There are flies everywhere. With the flies with the little wings. Now, any of you in the UK watching now, have you had a problem with flies today? The ones with wings everywhere. UK people, please comment if you have. Yeah, that Linda, you are right about that. We've had a very bad year weather-wise. Our weather in England this year has been terrible. We haven't had a summer. So in Nashville, Deborah, you're very hot there, okay? Dolphin Island in May, and it was so hot. Yeah, so Linda, you've got them as well, yeah? I'll tell you what, when I was doing my live stream today, I think it was the first one, they would just walk flying into my mouth, driving me mad. So you're hoping for a break in the hot weather in Tennessee. Very hot in Nashville, Tennessee. Teresa's baking over there. Hi, Teresa. I didn't expect it. I just went for a walk because it was nice and warm to do a live on my phone, and they were everywhere, all sticking to me, in my mouth, in my hair. It's like, so at the moment, hot and humid in Memphis, summer humidity kills. Yeah, Nadia, but I'll be in the air-conditioned hotel. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll be in the, what's it called? The Heartbreak Hotel restaurant. Is that what it's called? Isn't there, I think the food in that hotel I've heard is amazing. And I think there's quite a few restaurants in that hotel. Bloody mosquitoes. So Joy was in Nashville on the 3rd of July. It was so humid, couldn't enjoy the fireworks. Yeah, you don't want, I suppose you don't want it unbearable. This is why we need air conditioning. Even my family are from Cyprus, and now in Cyprus it's unbearably hot. But still everyone goes there. Now we're going to Spain on the 12th of August, just for 1 week, in Mallorca. And we went last year as well. I didn't find it over hot actually in Spain. There was a bit of some storm. We had a bit of a storm for a couple of days. Very strong tornado type storm. But we're going again this year, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, let's get right. I'm going to just wrap things up now because we're coming up to, we've done an hour. So tomorrow we are definitely doing, we're definitely doing live streams tomorrow. We're going to do 2 or 3. We're going to stick to the topic of Elvis. We won't talk about food and diet and holidays and heat. I'll try and stay on topic. Now, you know the purpose of the lives are to bring in new members, to expand the channel, to get more subscribers as well. And Team Elvis we're all going to come together and do this together. It just makes it more fun. And then we're going to all have a right good time laughing at all the comments that come in on the phone lives that we all find hilarious. And I know that many of you girls are very cheeky with the comments. You do like to take the mick out of some of these people that are commenting on these phone lives, and you're getting off on it. And I actually think that many of you are now addicted to phone lives. I know Linda is, Deborah is, Nadia is. You're all addicted to the phone lives. Just admit it. It's like the exciting part of your day now. In fact, one of you actually said it. The highlight of your day. I think it may have been Deborah. I'm not sure which one of you said it. Nadia, I'll probably do it in the morning. So what day is it? It's Friday. So I'll probably quite early, probably 8:30. I'll do the first phone live. And then what I tend to do is follow it by a normal live. Then I wait an hour. Then I go off for a walk and I do another phone live. So, yes, Linda, you're all addicted to it is exhilarating. You get an adrenaline rush, don't you? Because you're trying to reply to the comments. Like, I'm going to reply. How dare they say that? Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know their facts. They need to do their research. You're like, oh, you're so wrong. I'm going to put you right. It is a bit of a highlight, Deborah. Yeah, probably 9:30 your time, Nadia. Which Elvis book was that, Joy? Right, so Jane, it's 9:30 with Jane as well, because Jane's in Spain. What part of Spain are you in again, Jane? So I just want to thank the new people, that a few new people have popped in today. I think it was Richard. Now, we don't normally go off subject. We normally stick to Elvis and anything Elvis, but we have gone a bit off topic today. So there was a couple. There was Shirley. So thank you, Shirley, for joining in. You're all welcome to become members of Team Elvis. It's all a bit of fun. It's completely free. There's no cost to it. We just like your passion and your love for Elvis and your love to defend Elvis. But of course, we love you to subscribe. If you want to be a member, it's only £1 a month. There's no pressure to become members. I like having members, but it doesn't faze me whether you're a member or not. If you're my subscriber, I'm very happy. Now, I don't encourage people to be members because I want their money. I just encourage it because I like it. It's that simple. And that's why it's only £1 a month. Or you can buy me a coffee. There we go. Click the buy me a coffee button. Why not? I'll have a coffee. Cheers, guys. So I think we're done. Yeah, we've had a lovely chat. I've got the Lisa Marie book coming as well. Now, I got it on eBay, and it said the Lisa Marie book. Let's have a look. I ordered it, I think, about 3 weeks ago. Let's go to eBay. Let's see what's happening. So, the Lisa Marie book, my orders, purchases. Right, it's due. It says due delivery date. Where's the date? I'm pretty sure it was an August delivery date. Here we are. Right, let's try and find the delivery. This was on eBay, guys. It was. I can't see the delivery date, but when I ordered it, I'm pretty sure it was August. I know that it's supposed to be coming out October, isn't it? But the reason I ordered it, it was £18.69 British money. I can't see the delivery date now. Oh, yeah, here we go. Between the 27th of August and the 2nd of September. So the last week of August, first week of September, I should be getting the book. And it was £18.69. British.
British, bro.
British, bruh. Let's have a look. So I'm hoping to get it before October, Nadia. So we'll just see. Okay, I think that's it, guys. If you want to carry on chatting with each other, I'll just end the stream and then you carry on talking. Thanks. We've had a great night, haven't we, guys? We've had a bit of fun. We did speak Elvis, but we also spoke about many other things. The kids joined in, which is cute. And we've had a brilliant day today with the lives. Come on. We've had a great day. And I've loved this lush weather we've had. In England, we have had, it's like being on holiday. And that's why I'm always in my vests, getting brown. Thanks, guys. Sending you all love. I'm not going to go through all your names because there's quite a few of you. But I really appreciate it. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please become a member. And you know that we are a lovely family and we are Team Elvis. We are Elvis Defenders. Elvis Defenders. Rock on.